Kathleen?
Dave, it was a close call indeed for the teenagers, and less than 30 seconds ago, we received word from officials that this bridge behind me is going to be closed for good at 6 o'clock. That's less than a half an hour from now. The problem with this bridge is the teens weren't even supposed to be on the sidewalks at all. As you can see behind me, barricades have been put up tonight. That was an initial measure right after the accident. You can still enter the bridge from the side, and that means that many pedestrians, even after this accident, were still willing to take their chances. Police department's investigation is now complete tonight. However, there are at least 2 other investigations into the crash that are ongoing. One is by the State Police Accident Reconstruction Team. They will return to the accident site within the next hour. Within minutes after the explosion, firefighters had 2 problems on their hands. First of all, the house is quickly collapsing. Secondly, firefighters trying to battle the roof are getting dangerously close to swaying power lines.
News 40's Kathleen Willis has more on this case and its potential impact on all women, Kathleen.
Priscilla, it's something that all women fear. You could be walking to your car after work or walking into your own home and you're raped. That's allegedly what happened to a Springfield woman late last year. Now she's fighting to send her accused rapist to jail. But in order to do that, she must share those terrifying memories that she shared with a rape counselor. They may be revealed in open court.
Way too much drink.
The new drunk driving laws pack a big punch, and you don't want to be on the receiving end of one. Good evening, I'm Kathleen Willis. Steve has the night off. 16 state troopers were on hand at a roadblock in West Springfield last night, and they were busy. Out of 9 arrests, 6 were for drunk driving. Firefighters left today's meeting with the mayor's word that the raise agreed to during binding arbitration will be paid. Union leaders will believe that when they see the checks. You think that the mayor's ever going to be able to get you your raise?
If he does what he says he's going to do.
And what did he say he was going to do?
Hopefully we'll get it in another week.
And what happens if you don't get it in another week?
His life will be miserable.
He said we had $1.3 million for it.
The money for the raise will come from the fire department's salary budget. That means in 3 weeks there will be no funds left to pay the firefighters, and the city faces another financial crisis. Mayor Markle says he's counting on the city council to quickly pass a supplemental budget to keep the fire department running. But if the council doesn't approve that budget within 3 weeks, the mayor says there could be layoffs.
Comes down to 3 options. Number 1, get additional revenue. Number 2, use the stabilization fund. Number 3, lay people off.
And that could jeopardize public safety. There are 376 firefighters in Springfield. That's the lowest number in the department's history.
There is no fat on our department. We're operating with a minimum number of people. We temporarily put fire companies out of service to save on overtime money. We cannot lay off. It's just that simple.
We don't need to lay off firefighters or anybody else. The city is short-handed with staffing right now.
Firefighters are waiting to see their money. The checks go out next Thursday. In Springfield, Kathleen Willis, News 40.
She's like having a kid. She's like having a 2-year-old child that just never grows up.
It's obvious Jim Hafner is quite fond of Katrina. Over the past year, they've become the best of friends, but that may soon come to an end. It's against state law to own monkeys as pets in Massachusetts. Jim knows that and understands the state environmental police and game wardens are just doing their jobs. Now, unless Governor Weld steps in and grants Jim a special permit, he'll have a tough decision to make.
I had the option of giving her up to the breeder, to a breeder in Miami, or to a zoo. And she's been hand-raised all her life, and I don't think she'd get too acclimated in a zoo. They came a couple days ago to find me for her and to actually confiscate her. And the only problem they had is that they didn't have any facility to put her in at that time. So that's why Boston granted me the zoo permit until the 16th of April.
And then after the 16th of April, what happens?
She's either got to be on a plane down to Florida or over to a zoo.
Jim is hoping that if he can't keep Katrina, she can go to a loving home in Connecticut and not a breeder or a zoo.
What are you doing with my track, bud?
But Katrina's not comfortable with all this new attention, as I found out the hard way.
She loves Sarah too. I'm sorry. Cheech. She loves a little bit of ice cream every now and then. Popcorn, she has her qualms with. As long as it's buttered, she'll eat it. If it's not buttered, she's not too crazy about it. She loves to wrestle. She'll roll around on the floor with you for hours. And instead of an animal, she's become more like a person to me.
In West Springfield, Kathleen Willis, News 40.
She really liked our cameraman, too.